Let's talk about the furry comic Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Released as a graphic novel, it's also available to read on a week-by-week basis on Webtoons. Let's get into it. We start our story with main character Samantha Strong, a bear woman that lives in the peaceful town of Woodbrook. Everybody knows everybody, nothing ever happens, and the biggest bit of news as of late is the upcoming parade to celebrate the town's founding. You know, small town anywhere, there's a million of them. Little do the citizens of Woodbrook realize, however, that Samantha is a serial killer. Period. No ambiguous facts, no nothing, it's established straight away. Samantha, however, does not eat where she poops and often visits a nearby big city to find her prey. The comic is not shy about her methods either. Oh, don't be fooled by the great world of Richard Scarry / Berenstain Bears art style. Samantha selects a victim at random, chloroforms them, kills them, and then chops them up like Thanksgiving turkeys. You realize I can't show you any of this on YouTube. It's incredibly graphic. Lots of blood and bones and brain matter everywhere. Don't get me wrong, she's very methodical, neat and tidy about the whole thing, and often buries her victims in paint cans, in pieces, out in the woods where no one will ever find them. People go missing in the city all the time, after all. What's one more to add to the missing posters? So, what kind of serial killer is Samantha? They do come in a number of different flavors. You know, the religious one that says God told them to do it. The sexual one that does it to get off. The one that does it purely to exert power over others, etc., etc. Turns out Samantha is the latter. She doesn't want to make a mess. She doesn't really hate anyone. She just wants to be in control. The act centers her and silences the voice in her head, at least for a little while. She doesn't even know who her victims are. She selects them at random. She lacks any sort of compassion or empathy. But the thing about people that lack compassion and empathy, they're very good at pretending. No one knows about her terrifying little hobby, and truth be told, over the course of 20 years or so, Samantha has killed over 40 people. No witnesses, no evidence, no nothing. She is very good at it. And when all is said and done, she just goes back to her life as though nothing happened. Another person erased. So, what sort of challenge do you lay in front of a seasoned serial killer in a comic like this? Well, another killer, of course. During the much-heralded Woodbrook parade, someone is killed in a very public display, alerting the public to the presence of a murderer in their midst. And it's not the last, either. Another dies, and another dies. Woodbrook seizes up in fear over a completely different kind of murderer than Samantha Strong. A showboat killer. The killer that wants to be seen, leaves messages and wild, bloody displays in their wake. Everyone grows fearful, paranoid, and starts seeing monsters in their breakfast cereal as no one knows who or when the killer will strike next. Samantha is furious. One, because Woodbrook is a peaceful place that she's been using to hide out, and two, because now the police are going to be looking for a murderer right in her neighborhood. And what if they stumble over any of her tools of the trade? Being neat and tidy hid Samantha's horrible pastime from everyone. But if the police find even a shred of evidence that points to her while they're looking for this newer, messier killer, she's toast. And so it becomes killer versus killer. Can Samantha, the quieter, tidier, more experienced murderer, find this newer, messier murderer in her own backyard before the police find anything of hers? Or will this person run wild through Woodbrook, killing left and right while everyone searches or hides in fear? Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is a great microcosm of small-town life. Everyone with their own dirty little secrets on a backdrop of suburban perfection and apple pie. The world itself isn't perfect, though, as it raises a lot of awkward questions that most furry comics are smart enough to avoid. Namely, the existence of animals that match the characters. Samantha, for example, meets a bear in the woods. There's a pig woman that walks by a butcher shop, and there's a pig head and pork products displayed in the window. I mean, what are we supposed to make of that in-world? Usually furry comics decide on a handful of races and everything else is still a feral animal. But not this one. People and ferals all cover all the same species, and it's kinda awkward when you think about it. It really distracted me to know that Samantha Strong is a bear, but there's also a wild bear out in the woods. Anyway, so who is this new killer? What do they want? Was it just happenstance that they showed up in Samantha's backyard and started stirring up trouble with their messy habits? Or does someone know who Samantha is and is calling her out? The answers are all spoilers, obviously, but it's certainly worth wondering about. After all, if a professional killer uses a big city as their killing ground, what sort of amateur uses a small town where everyone would notice immediately if someone went missing? The answer, well, the real answer, will certainly surprise you. So, all that being said, should you read Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees? I would give a hesitant yes. Like I said before, the murder scenes are very graphic, and I can't show you anything here. But do not be fooled by this cutesy art style. It's really, really gory, and it can catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. Samantha is an excellent, apathetic murderer who's been playing the game for decades. Her level of anger and panic over this theatrical and messy killer is fun to watch, and everyone in Woodbrook is a suspect. I say, check it out.